They call it Kamikaze, meaning the divine tempest. We call them suicide planes.
On April 11, 1945, the USS Missouri and the other American ships faced a kamikaze attack by 16 Japanese pilots. This event, although not widely known, has been a subject of debate and disagreement in the USA for decades. The kamikaze pilots were part of Japan's desperate strategy near the end of World War II, aiming to cause as much damage as possible to the American forces. The pilots, indoctrinated with propaganda and a sense of divine mission, willingly sacrificed their lives for their country. In Japanese, kamikaze means divine wind, reflecting the spiritual element attached to the Japanese forces' fight. The Japanese propaganda portrayed their soldiers as courageous people of honor, living by ancient codes like the samurai warriors, while depicting Americans as morally bankrupt and driven by greed and materialism. The kamikaze pilots believed that their sacrifice would bring honor to their families and future generations, serving a higher purpose in the defense of Japan against Western imperialism. The kamikaze attacks were a terrifying and effective tactic. American crews aboard ships like the USS Missouri feared the approach of these planes, knowing they were virtually defenseless against them. The pilots, loaded with bombs, embarked on one-way missions, aiming to hit their targets and cause maximum damage, even at the cost of their own lives. These attacks caused significant psychological damage to the American forces, who were unprepared for such fanatical and self-destructive tactics. The Americans, despite their superior resources and military strength, struggled to combat an enemy that was willing to die for their country. The Japanese were determined to continue fighting, even in the face of immense destruction and loss of life. The American strategy of bombing Japanese cities and the introduction of kamikaze pilots were desperate attempts to break Japan's will to fight. The kamikaze attacks took a heavy toll on the American forces. Ships were destroyed, lives were lost, and the psychological impact was immense. The Americans were left grappling with the moral and ethical questions surrounding the burial of the kamikaze pilots. When Flight Petty Officer Setsuo Ishino's kamikaze plane crashed into the USS Missouri, Captain William M. Callaghan made the decision to grant him a military burial at sea, showing a level of humanity and respect for the fallen enemy. Captain Callaghan's decision sparked controversy among the American crew, some of whom felt anger and resentment toward the honoring of an enemy who had just attempted to kill them. Decades later, when the event was commemorated, some surviving American soldiers still expressed their disagreement and frustration. However, others recognized the act as a testament to the captain's honor and humanity in the midst of a brutal war. In 2001, when the story gained more attention, both Japanese and American soldiers came together to commemorate Captain Callaghan's decision. Surviving Japanese soldiers who had lost comrades in the kamikaze missions expressed their appreciation for the captain's act of compassion. The event highlighted the complexities of war and the capacity for humanity even in the face of extreme conflict. The story of the kamikaze pilots and their attacks remains a poignant and divisive aspect of World War II history. It represents the clash of ideologies, the horrors of war, and the profound impact of individual choices and actions in times of great adversity.